Okay guys, we're going to focus on a closed guard position here. Now, the main thing that we're trying to explain about the closed guard is most of the attacks come from breaking the person's posture down by removing the frame of their arms and being able to hinge them at the hip so that we can control the shoulders and the upper body. Once we're able to do that, it becomes much simpler to reposition our body for upper body attacks, right, or to reposition our own body to get to other situations, because it becomes really difficult for your opponent now to use their arms defensively and keep you at the distance that's safe for them, or to defend some of their upper body attacks with their arms, because now they have their arms in positions that are quite strong and powerful. Right now, it's really difficult for Nick with a bent spine to be strong with his arms. Okay, so this is the first thing that we need to focus on. All right, so look, the position we're going to focus off here is using a specific grip, all right, to now start to cross one of Nick's arms all the way to one side. And the way we're going to do that today is I'm going to try to focus on getting one arm on the inside, all right, of Nick's wrist, so I can get both hands to the outside. So from here, if Nick's really tight with his grips and having a really hard time pulling him down, what I'm going to do is just lift my hips, all right, and now at the same time I drop my hips back to the floor and slide my wrist under his forearm. Now that it's underneath, I'm going to figure four my arms and punch his grip away. Once I've removed his grip, the focus here now is to cross his arm. Sometimes if Nick is lazy, I can cross his arm simply, all right, and that's the best case scenario. But a lot of the time what will happen is Nick starts to get quite defensive with his arm, try to pull his arm away. So I need to secure his arm quite tight. I'm going to push his wrist and pull at his elbow so that I put pressure on his shoulder, and it's now much more difficult for Nick to engage his muscles of his back and rip and strip the grip straight away. But what Nick likes to do most of the time in his reaction is he knows I'm trying to pull his arm to the other side because he can feel what I'm doing. So he puts his weight closer to my hip on that side, and now it's much more difficult just with our arms to cross his arms both to the same side. So from here, what I'm going to focus on doing, rather than just pulling him across, I'm going to reposition my whole body so that I can put my body on the outside of his elbow. So I open my legs for my cross of my feet, and I step my leg on the same side I control the arm on the floor. My hip goes up and my bum comes out to the outside so that his shoulder and elbow drop past my stomach here and touch on the ground, so I can start to block him from here. The most important thing from this point is to reposition my chest and shoulders, all right, so that I can stop Nick from sitting back up into a strong position. So from here, I swing my leg and sit up, and I hug his back with my head. I control his lat with my free arm, and I lock my feet again. Now, I'm just going to lie to my side and push Nick's arm all the way so his shoulder comes all the way down to the floor. And now it's very difficult for Nick to base on this side closer to my body, and it's very hard for him to reposition himself out of this situation. So from here, all I'm going to focus on now is just completing my technique and going all the way, repositioning my hips to a position where I can control, all right, with my hooks on either side of his hip, and I'm in the back position and ready to submit from there. So what I'm going to focus on here is keeping my head super tight, stepping my left leg, but keeping my right leg tight on his hip here. It's important I'm not lazy with my feet, otherwise it's quite easy for Nick to start to reposition from here, and I will lose my situation a little bit. So I keep my head tight, this foot posts on the ground, and I just escape my body until his hips start to turn into the floor. Once they fall like this, I reposition my legs, and then I can start to set up my attacks and finish from here on the back.